Welcome back to Fantasy Football Today, presented by the Caesars Sportsbook and Casino. So they have a special thing going on at Caesars Sportsbook where you can pick the weekly leaders in passing yards, rushing yards, and receiving yards, and it's only for the Sunday and Monday games. And here are the favorites to lead each respective category. Patrick Mahomes in passing yards, Derrick Henry in rushing yards, and Jamar Chase in receiving yards. And to give you an edge in this contest, we bring in the best in the business, Emory Hunt, joining us now on Fantasy Football Today. Emory, it's so good to talk to you and see you. And I know everybody's excited to get your picks on these respective categories. So let's start with the first one here, and that's passing yards. So give me your pick to lead week one in passing yards. Which quarterback is it going to be?
I'm going to go with Russell Wilson against that Seahawks secondary. I think that's the biggest matchup where I see an advantage to where he can crush this number or be the top passer coming out of week one. When you look at their receiving core, you talk about Cortland Sutton, you talk about Jerry Jeudy. They may or may not have KJ Hamler. He wants to give it a go. But keep an eye on Montreal Washington, a rookie out of Stanford, who is explosive. He's just like KJ Hamler. And last time we saw him play in college, he was tearing up the Florida Gators in their first-round pick, Kyer Elam. So I think Denver has the best matchup in terms of receivers versus secondary, and they have the best deep ball passer in the game today in Russell Wilson.
Plus 1,600 there, and I love the fact that there's been some Seattle people in the front office maybe downgrading Russell Wilson. The fact that he's going back to Seattle, I love this call. I think Russ is going to just light them up in prime time. So I agree with you. It's a great bet to make, and hopefully he does deliver on leading the week in passing yards. All right, let's go to the receiving yards leader now. Who's the choice for you here in this week one matchup?
You know, it's fascinating when you talk wide receivers. You got to think about, okay, who can make the big plays? Who can make the chunk plays? And I think people forget, well, they talked about it all offseason. That's probably why Patrick Mahomes is number one in terms of passing yards, but he doesn't have Tyreek Hill. So I expect Miami's passing game, especially in this matchup against the Patriots, who don't have the speed to keep up with Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. But I think we're going to see them try to introduce Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins fan base, to the rest of the NFL in a Dolphins uniform. I expect big things for him today, at least 3 chunk plays. I'm talking about over 25, 30 yards in this ball game. So I think he'll be the leader in the receiving category in week one, because again, we got angry Tua, spicy Tua all off season. You got Tyreek Hill taking up for Tua, and they're facing a Patriots defense that lacks the speed in the secondary. So this was an easy one for me.
Show off your shiny new toy, and let's see what Tyreek can do. And we saw it in the preseason game against Philadelphia. First play of the game, it was a 51-yard reception. Just put a little bit out more in front to it. Let him go get it. That would have been a touchdown, and that's going to be those 3 chunk plays that Emory's talking about. I love this call as well. I think Tyreek Hill is in for a big week one matchup against the Patriots also. All right, let's go now to the rushing yards leader. And so this is a tough one because you got a lot of great matchups, Emory. So which direction are you going with the rushing yards leader for week one?
You know, I know Derrick Henry is the favorite, but people are sleeping on that Giants front seven. I think they're going to surprise some people today and keep that game close. But so you look at who else has a favorable matchup in week one. I like the Colts offensive line versus that Texans defensive front, i.e. Jonathan Taylor versus those backers and his ability to hit the home run. We saw this last year. We saw him have a lot of success versus the Texans. And I think that's going to be the way they can ease their offense into the season, ease Matt Ryan into the program and into the season as well. You have a great back. You best take advantage of him earlier in the year. So I think Jonathan Taylor, at the end of week one, will be the top rusher for this bet here. So for me, Taylor has the best matchup. Roll with Taylor.
Hey, never a bad idea to bet on the rushing yards leader from a year ago. And so Taylor's in a great spot. He's healthy. He's hungry. Quentin Nelson just got paid. I'm sure he's going to want to live up to that contract. Not that he hasn't been doing that already, but certainly just inking the deal. Could be a lot of fun there for this Colts offense, and certainly for Jonathan Taylor. Emory, the best. We appreciate the picks here as part of the Caesars Sportsbook and Casino contest. All right, make sure you check out our Fantasy Football Today podcast, wherever podcasts are available. We will have you covered with everything you need for all of your fantasy football starts and sits. We will help you win your leagues in 2022.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.